From our studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, this is Retirement News Online. You know, business owners often spend so much time growing the company that their own personal retirement strategy can fall way behind. Here's somebody who helps them. Chris Heckadon, managing partner of Summit Pointe Financial in Lee's Summit, Missouri. So when you talk about business owners, they have the business finances, and then a lot of times their personal finances they're not as tight as what the business is. How do you help them merge the two?
Yeah, and merging the two, I think, is important, but Scott, you also have to realize that the most aggressive asset in their life portfolio is the business. So I think it's important for business owners to keep some of that, some of those assets separate, and with that, I think, you know, obviously having a qualified plan inside the business, and then looking at building some wealth outside of the business. As a business owner myself, I'm a big believer in creating enough wealth that whether my business sold or not, I would be able to reach financial independence.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of business owners who simply just reinvest everything into the business, and then how do you determine with them, I know that each business owner is different, but when to reinvest, when to save, when to diversify, when to scale, you know, what's the calculation there?
Yeah. Depends on the business, not always a simple calculation, but it's important to know that they need to keep enough money in the business to continue to grow the business if they're in that stage, especially early stage of the business. At a certain point, the business owner themselves or their CPAs or other advisory team knows what needs to be kept there. And then from there, it's really trying to move assets outside of the business, not only to protect themselves from it, but also to create that wealth on the outside.
Would you say it's very common that the average business owner doesn't do enough tax planning and they really don't have a succession plan? They just sort of get this idea, I'll sell it and things will sort of take care of itself. Is that accurate?
Very accurate. A lot of business owners don't know the tax planning, so they rely on a CPA wholeheartedly, and good and bad. I think being able to position a business to sell at a certain point is very important, especially if that's the majority of their wealth. But I also believe from a tax perspective that there are a lot of ways that they can take advantage of with the help of an advisor, attorney, advisors like us that can help them accomplish that.
Yeah, because I think the accountant, the CPA kind of looks in the rearview mirror at everything, but you kind of need to look forward, especially if you're getting ready to position, you know, the business to sell. And there's another aspect too. Business owners oftentimes, I would guess, they haven't protected themselves enough. So, you know, for example, a business owner becomes incapacitated, right? If they're running everything, well, is there a continuation plan in place? Is there somebody there? Is there insurance? And so you have to deal with a lot of that as well, don't you?
Absolutely, Scott. You hit the nail on the head. When it comes to, you know, for instance, tax planning or the business continuation planning, the CPAs and the attorneys are typically reactive. I think our role, or my role as an advisor, is to be proactive. So when we help them get those plans in place, then we want to make sure we fund them with disability insurance, life insurance, key man coverage, whether it's on the business owner, if in fact that person is the driving force of the business. So it really depends on the stage, but again, that continuation plan needs to be in place, properly funded, and really needs to be thought of day one as soon as that business is put in place.
And so and this is one of the areas that you specialize in. How does a business owner know if they have the right advisor helping them?
Really, it's taken a holistic approach to looking at that business, making sure that there are agreements in place from the time that they set it up to the time that they've now have a continuation plan in place. And in addition to, do they have the right people in the right seats on the bus to help that business if they were not to make it home that night after work?
Good stuff, Chris. Thank you so much. He's Chris Heckadon in Lee's Summit, Missouri, and this is Retirement News Online. Thanks for watching.